Yo, yo, yo! Welcome back to the MMA Short Show. As always, your boy, Steven Moustaris. And after the press conference last night, and after the weigh-ins here in a few hours, I'm absolutely hyped up for UFC 309. And it's finally starting to feel like after all these years, we're finally going to see Jon Jones and Stipe Miocic in the octagon. And knock on wood while we're here. But, you know, speaking of which, I've already went over my three biggest questions of Jon Jones and Stipe, and clearly outside of who's going to win, how they're going to win, and how the fight plays out. You know, I went over the three biggest questions. I went over my two biggest questions for Charles Oliveira and Michael Chandler. And now it's time for the single biggest question. And when it comes to this fight, it has nothing to do with this man, Paul Craig, and it has everything to do with this man, Bo Nickal. And the question's simple. Is Bo Nickal everything that people are hyping him up to be? Is he really going to be the guy that's supposed to go out there and beat Khamzat? You know, I can guarantee you guys, off rip answering this, I can guarantee you guys a win over Paul Craig isn't going to confirm anything when it comes to, you know, being at the top echelon of this, you know, division. But it is a stepping stone. It is something that you should, you know, get over this. You know, you should beat a guy like Paul Craig if you're trying to get up to, you know, like we're talking about. If you're trying to get up to the Marvin Vittorias, the Jared Cannoniers, the Brendan Allens, the Cal Borrellios, or the Imavovs. You know, if you're trying to get to that level of this division, let alone the DDPs, the Khamzats, the Izzies, you got to get through a guy like Paul Craig. But on the other hand, I can promise you guys right now, if this man goes out and loses to Paul Craig this weekend, I mean, I can guarantee you that he's just not that guy. I mean, I know he's super fresh into his career. I know he's a division champ or a multiple time Division I champion wrestler. I get all that. I know he's only 6-0. It's about to be his 7th MMA fight. I get all that. So he's got plenty of time to learn. But at this level, man, at his age and everything, like, this is a fight he needs to win if he's ever going to get to Khamzat's level. So clearly, if you ask me, I think Bo Nickal is going to run right through Paul Craig, or at least he should. But at the same time, if we're going to be honest with people, Paul Craig's one of those weird fighters, man. It's a lot like Neil Magny, where he should never, you know, beat the guys that he beats, and he should probably never lose to the guys he loses. It just almost doesn't make sense sometimes. Like, Paul Craig, let's remind people, he's got to win over Jamal Hill and Magomed Ankalaev. Like, the two guys that should be like the guys that are just surrounding the light heavyweight championship right now. And as terrible as his stand-up may be and comes off at times, I mean, he is a way bigger challenge than Cody Brundage, who was brushing Bo Nickal's takedowns off in that first round. And then especially a guy like Jamie Pickett, who's 13-11. Like, Paul Craig is definitely better than them, even without the stand-up, but his submission game is just so good that, you know, Bo Nickal is going to have to watch himself this week. You know, he's going to have to make sure he's not getting, you know, not leaving his head in there too much on the, you know, if he's blasting double legs, or if he's even, you know, just kind of messing around in guard, he's got to be very careful, which clearly these guys already know. They're already going over all this stuff, so he should get this done. But the only worry that I have whatsoever, we saw it with Raul Rosas Jr., we saw it the last time Neil Magny fought Mike Malott. I mean, you get these guys that are supposed to be so good that we just have never seen tested yet. So I'm just wondering if Paul Craig can kind of last till that third round and make Bo Nickal use a lot of energy trying to, you know, just, you know, trying to man him up, trying to take him down, trying to, you know, get the ground and pound going. And Paul Craig can kind of negate that, or at least, you know, brush it off till the third round. I'd like to see what Bo Nickal's gas tank looks like, but we're being honest here, man. Bo Nickal should get through this fight, and it's off to the races after this one, man. I'm excited to see how it's going. I'm really hyped. I want to see this man fight Khamzat. I want to see him fight the top of the top, but he's got a lot to go and a lot to prove, and beating Paul Craig is just the first step. So you guys let me know. I think he's got it. I don't know if Bo Nickal's truly the guy that everybody's hyping him up to be yet. But to be fair, we all know his grappling's that good. Dude, the game of MMA, you guys watch it all the time. I don't care. Like, who was that, Despain or whatever, that guy that the heavyweight that we just hired, they just hired because he was so good at knocking people out in the underground scene, but gets brought to the heavyweight division in the UFC, gets taken down and just mauled all the time. Like, just because you're hyped up doesn't mean anything. And we can go days and days and days about people who were hyped that ended up not, you know, living up to it. So you guys know MMA. It's an unforgiving game. It doesn't matter who's hyping who up. It doesn't care. Reality comes and smacks you in the mouth. So I'm excited to see what happens this weekend. And you guys let me know. And let's go, baby. UFC 309. Let's get it, baby.